Hello everybody, I am The Worm and welcome back to Danganronpa V3. It is now time to enter the second half of this trial, and I am quite excited. You see, I had originally intended to do the trial in all one sitting, but unfortunately it didn't turn out that way. I think the last couple trials, certainly the last couple trials I was able to do that, but this time around, just my schedule didn't really line up that way, so I've been waiting all day just so I can get back here and actually finish this. So, yeah. And I'm excited because I think in this half of the trial we're actually going to get some twists and turns. Unfortunately, the first half is kind of, well, I don't want to say boring, but as I mentioned in the previous episode, it looks like I was able to foresee where the opening parts of this trial were going to go. What with Kokichi claiming that this has all been a plot by Miyu, and the various information regarding how the virtual world is constructed and how all those things tie together. So, I was able to understand all of that pretty early on, and that led to, well, as I said, there wasn't much to, there wasn't a lot of tension. So, I am hoping that this half will be much more exciting, because as I also said, I'm actually not sure where we go from here. Obviously, Kokichi is plotting something, but it makes me think, like, is it all just a setup? In that all this stuff with Miyu and crafting the virtual world, what if it's all just manufactured in some sense by Kokichi, all to, I don't know, mess with us in some way? And he's doing this other thing, which Shuichi he's caught on to this, where he keeps piling on this, oh, Shuichi, you're the guy, you're the detective, we all trust you, we believe in you, you're gonna save us. So clearly there has to be something here. Now, of course, I think it was, oh, how am I forgetting her name? This is not good. Maki, of course. Maki pointed out how, if all this is true with what Miyu has done and set up, then it turns out that Kokichi's actually, he has some suspicion placed upon him, considering where she was going. Now, he, of course, claims the roof was locked, but we have no idea, or we have no way to prove that, so I'm not sure where this goes for now. So yeah, let's just stop rambling and get into this, shall we?
And another thing. Yeah? Yeah. Ah.
Also, the whole glitch thing hasn't been addressed yet. Let's keep that in mind.
Really? Oh. My head! Monotaro! Pull yourself together! I feel like I'm forgetting someone important to me, but I just can't. My head hurts so much. I just can't remember.
Have you forgotten? Maybe that's for the best. From this point forward, let's start a new life for ourselves. After all, our baby is excited to meet his daddy, you know?
Daddy? Wait, what? I'm gonna be a father?
Okay.
What a colossal death flag. I'll be surprised if he doesn't die after that.
More importantly, let's continue the conversation where we left off.
We understand Mew plotted the murder, but we need to find out who killed her.
Okay. And we settled on strangulation with the toilet paper as the cause of death here.
And in order to figure that out, we need to understand Mew's actions.
And the toilet paper ended up on the right side of the mansion, while Mew herself ended up on the left side towards the chapel, which is interesting. We also don't know about the loud noise we heard.
So let's discuss her murder scheme step by step.
Once again, Kokichi is taking the lead here.
I know that's important, but hearing you lead the conversation really pisses me off.
Same wavelength, Kaito. We're together on this.
Let's see. Mew manipulated the virtual world to use it as part of her murder plan.
Don't just ignore me and start anyway.
If she had succeeded, she would have gone past the wall between the chapel and mansion. And then wham! Murdered me on the roof with the hammer.
She would make the murder seem like it happened in the real world, and then pin it on Kaito.
As for Mew's alibi in the real world, she could say she was locked into the virtual world. And in the virtual world, she could say she was near the chapel the entire time.
She'd make an excuse about how she couldn't reach the mansion because of the fallen bridge. She dropped the bridge on purpose so she could separate the chapel from the mansion. Then secretly passed through the wall she installed and took advantage of the loop. After, she headed to where we were supposed to meet up, the mansion's rooftop. Oh yeah, Kaito was probably logged out around that time too.
Interesting. So, I was kind of curious about this. I hadn't really put this all together yet. I was thinking that Kaito was logged out because he was on the roof, and this is before the trial started. Kaito was logged out because he was on the roof, and that's where Miyu and Kokichi needed to go to, for the meetup. Of course, it does make some sense that Miyu needed someone to pin a murder on. But the thing is, I guess, is it just coincidence that Kaito was the one on the roof? Because presumably, oh man. I need to go back and I need to think, how am I going to do this? When our two groups split, there was the chapel group and the mansion group. How did we decide who goes to what room? Because you'd think if Kokichi had already been well aware that Miyu wanted to meet on the roof, and yet he went to the salon. Okay, this is bothering me so much. I think I'm actually gonna go back and check. Hang on. Okay. Okay, I just went and checked. I mean, I think it was something I was... Maybe not that particular moment, but I think I'd said previously that I'd wanted to check on one or two things from that time, from the time when we were in the virtual world. Okay, so as near as I can tell, our mansion group went, you know, after Miyu tossed the bridge, we went into the mansion, and Kokichi just says Gonta and Kaito are going to explore the surroundings of the rooftop. Then he asks for Tsumugi and Shuichi to check out the dining hall and kitchen. Then he says he's going to take the salon. That's interesting. It's not, so we didn't get to hear about... I mean, it sounds a bit like Kokichi is the one that made the decision, right? It doesn't sound like there was much discussion beforehand. And if that's the case, that's interesting. Why Kokichi decided... And it's interesting that it's not just Kaito, it's Gonta and Kaito just happened to be on the roof at the time? Oops, wrong button. Okay. So, I think I just asked this, but again, I'm thinking, what was if this was something Kokichi had just decided? Why did Miyu choose Kaito to be logged out?
That's when I saw Mew.
Problem is, because of her murder plans, we don't even know where she was killed.
She was killed on the roof, right? Kokichi told us the roof door was locked and that he couldn't get through.
Maybe that when culprit kill her.
That's probably what happened. The culprit killed her on the locked roof.
Did the culprit lock the door to the roof?
Perhaps. I don't think Miyu did it. If Miyu did lock it, she would have done it when she called Kokichi to the roof. Even if someone came up, I don't believe she would change the target of her plan. She knew that Kokichi would come up later. Locking the door would be suspicious.
Well, it's possible she didn't even think that far ahead.
She was smart, but she was also really, really dumb.
No say such mean things! Killing game bad, not Miyu. Miyu not bad person. Gonta think we could have been friends, if things different.
That might have been difficult, even without this killing game.
That wouldn't happen.
Nuh-uh. No way, Jose.
Huh?
Anyway, let's continue the discussion. If Miyu was killed on the roof of the mansion, the culprit must have moved Miyu's avatar to the chapel after killing her, right?
Well, that raises a problem.
So the next thing we should talk about is how they moved her avatar.
Now we know the mansion and chapel were actually next to each other. But the problem is the wall between them.
Yeah.
Only Miyu was able to go through that wall. The culprit wouldn't have been able to.
Then you're saying the culprit sent Miyu's avatar through that wall?
Yeah, that's the only way, right?
But how did the culprit send Miyu's avatar through the wall? I mean, it's not like they could have thrown her.
Gonta not throw her!
We know. You couldn't because the avatar's physical strength was equalized.
Physical strength equalized? That problem! Gonta no can protect everyone if that happens!
Jeez, keep up with us. We're already in the second half of the class trial.
How did they send Mew's avatar to the other side of the wall? Maybe that thing has something to do with it. You know, the loud sound you heard?
Okay.
Because of that sound, you guys went to the side of the chapel. Right, Keyboy? That's when you found the dead Mew there, right? If so, then I think that sound and her avatar being by the chapel are related.
Maybe Mew?
That's it!
Okay, there we go.
I think the sound came from Mew's avatar hitting the chapel wall.
I was half tempted to do the lattice.
The hammer, cell phone, and lattice were there, but they were too small to make that noise.
What if the lattice was used as a kind of sled or something? From the mansion roof.
Ruling those out, the only other explanation is that the sound was Mew colliding with a wall.
If that's the case, Mew's avatar must have hit the chapel wall really hard. We felt the impact all the way from the inside of the chapel.
Yeah, that's the real question. Mew's avatar probably hit the chapel's wall with pretty considerable force. But why did it hit the wall with such force? Can you guys figure it out?
Hold on, Kokichi. What's up with the way you're talking? Why are you talking like you know everything?
Yeah, he's been talking like that for this whole time.
Let's not worry about that right now. More importantly, we gotta solve the mystery. Fighting among friends is a waste of time.
Friends? Us?
Anyway, can we talk about that after we figure this problem out?
A way of transporting Mew's avatar that would cause it to crash into the chapel.
Hey, Shuichi, as your partner, I'll give you a little hint.
Yo, what?
Since the mansion was on top of a hill, the roof was pretty high up, right? Past the brick handrail, the roof was at a pretty steep slope. And the slope faced the chapel wall. On top of that, there was snow on the roof. If the culprit needed force to move the body, I wonder how they did it.
Gravity. Oh my. Dang it. Oh, hey, Monokuma. I'm not seeing what I need. Is something else? Oh, slid. Slid off roof? See, once you get it, it's incredibly simple. But if you're for the Hangman's Gambit in particular,
The culprit used the sloped roof as a slide for Mew's avatar.
if you're not on the same wavelength as the guy making that Hangman Gambit puzzle, it can be. you know, I'm obviously referring to Oh, what was it even? The ropeway. The ropeway. If you're not aware of the specific wording, and that's what's so frustrating. You can know the answer to the puzzle, but if you don't know the specific wording, it is so frustrating.
Slide?
Aw, man. Even with the slope and the snow, Mew's body wouldn't have slid.
Wrong. It would slide.
But the avatars can generate friction. We wouldn't have been able to walk otherwise. So I doubt that it would have had that much momentum.
Yeah, that was a really loud bang.
No. It would slide.
It wouldn't slide, just like Maki Roll said.
It would slide, just like Shumai said.
Who the hell is Shumai?
Oh, he's a pupil of Ramen Man. Sorry, my hobby slipped in.
Oh. You have a lie opportunity.
Even if her avatar slid off the roof,
Oh, well, this is
would it
easy.
slide off that quickly?
It's the lattice.
Well, duh, it would.
If it made that much noise, it must have built up a lot of speed.
Lots of snow piled up on the roof. But not frozen solid, right?
You'd still slide, though.
In the real world, it might be difficult. But in the virtual world, perhaps not.
That's not the issue. Sliding down snow is easy to do. You just need a sled or skis to cut the friction.
There was nothing like that around them.
I mean, it's so easy. It's the easiest nonstop debate ever, but that makes me curious about what the lie is.
Even if her avatar slid off the roof, would it slide off that quickly?
Oh,
Well, duh, it would.
dang it! That always feels so
If it
bad
made
every
that
time I do
much
it.
noise, it must have built up a lot of speed.
Lots of snow piled up on the roof. But not frozen solid, right?
You'd still slide, though.
In the real world, it might be difficult. But in the virtual world, perhaps not.
That's not the issue.
Okay, I'm
Sliding down snow is easy to do. You just need a sled or skis to cut the friction.
There was nothing like that around them.
okay.
That's wrong.
No, wait. There was something that could have been used to help slide Mew's body.
Okay, so I'm more and more convinced that this whole thing is just a construction of Kokichi's.
Do you remember the lattice that was found by Mew's avatar? The culprit laid her on top of that, then used it as a sled on the roof. I did notice the lattice in the storage room when I first looked. But during the investigation, I saw that it was gone.
The lattice that was found next to the chapel is the one that disappeared from the roof? Then that's it. The culprit used the lattice as a sled.
Ding, ding, ding! That's correct! After the culprit killed Mew on the rooftop, they placed her corpse on a sled and slid her down the roof's steep slope.
The sled picked up speed, flew off the roof, glided through the wall only objects could pass through, and hit the chapel.
Of course, this implies that the person who did this knew about the secret, knew about how the world worked, specifically the rule that is on screen right now. Ouch. Yeah, if she wasn't dead by strangling at that point, that would have, that looks like it would have done the deed.
The impact made all of her belongings scatter, including the hammer and cell phone.
Just like that hedgehog who loses all his rings whenever he crashes into stuff.
Yes, thank you, Monokuma.
I hate that guy and his worldwide fame and his stupid games, and I hate that hedgehog!
Daddy, I'm glad you're feeling motivated again, but you shouldn't be so hateful. You gotta be an example to our new family.
Yeah, Father. Or should I start calling you grandfather now?
Now that we know how the body slid down, we're just one step away from the culprit. Well, Shuichi, do you know who the culprit is?
No.
Yeah. In the end, we'll still need to guess the culprit, huh?
But Gonta can't believe one of us killed Mew.
However, since we know she was killed on the roof, we can narrow down the list of suspects. Meaning, the culprit must be someone who was investigating the mansion. Aside from Mew, the people at the chapel could not go through the wall or cross the river.
So that means the suspects are Kaito, Samugi, Shuichi, and Gonta.
But Kaito was logged out, right?
That's real sneaky, leaving yourself off the list.
Ooh, you got me.
When we were talking about the rooftop, they clearly lied. Ah, shucks. What, I'm trying to think back what conversation he's referring to. It wasn't Kaito, was it? Well, first, just because I want to.
It's you!
Oh, that was it. There we go.
Kokichi, there's something I need to know.
What do you need to know?
Why did you lie just now?
Which lie are you talking about, Shuichi? I lie a lot, so you'll need to jog my memory.
Fine. I'll expose your lie right now.
Well, you said... Yeah, earlier he said that, Oh, maybe that's not what it is. Hang on.
It was that testimony that bothered me.
Oh, well, shucks. Also, I think it's this.
I see it!
He did say that he went to check and it was locked, right?
When you were explaining that the door to the roof was locked, you said... But later, you said...
Oh, so just him describing the
That's
roof?
a lot of specific information. Stuff you wouldn't know if you hadn't been there.
Oh yeah! Now that you mention it, how did you know all that stuff?
You could probably see the steep slope of the roof from outside the mansion. But you wouldn't know about the brick handrail unless you went up to the roof yourself.
It's a good point.
Huh? What?
What's this all about, Kokichi? Did you actually go to the rooftop?
I didn't. I already told you that before.
Why you look so nervous?
Is this a sincere reaction?
Man, Kibo, I have no idea anymore. I'm gonna say no, but I don't know. I keep thinking back to the glitch, and I don't know what it means.
But there's no evidence that proves I went to the roof. Wait, I remember now. That thing Himiko said.
Me?
At the start of the class trial, I remember you saying the handrail was made of bricks. Ooh, you so clumsy, girl. Gotta be more careful there, Himiko.
Is it my fault?
Himiko really say that?
She totally said that.
No, she didn't.
Yes, she did.
She did not.
She did too.
Then when? Tell me how long ago. In hours, minutes, and seconds.
What a worthless fight!
Stop them, Grandpa! All this terrible fighting is bad for the baby!
Yeah, grandfather. Stop them before your grandkid is born.
I'm not gonna apologize, because Himiko said it.
So damn stubborn.
I
How
don't
much
remember.
longer are you going to behave like this?
I don't remember if she actually said it or not. Oh, okay.
I didn't go to the roof.
I've had enough.
Hang on, what is this one?
For your lies, man.
I'm not lying. The rooftop door was locked and I couldn't open it.
So what did Kokichi do?
I turned back at once, of course. And stayed in the salon the whole time, you know?
Liars burn in hell, you know.
If you're lying, I'll set your pants on fire!
That's fine, because I'm not lying.
Then why do you look so nervous?
I didn't go to the roof.
I've had enough of your
Okay.
lies, man.
I think it's that.
I'm not lying. The rooftop door was locked and I couldn't open it.
So what did Kokichi do?
I turned back at once, of course. And stayed in the salon.
The whole time, you know?
I'll reveal the truth.
That feels like,
Kokichi, you're lying right now, aren't you?
that, because especially when you go through that particular nonstop debate all the way through, Shuichi thinks I have to fight fire with fire. That feels like that was a mandatory lie, so I'm not gonna give myself any extra points for that.
Huh? Lying about what?
Just before the murder occurred, I went to the salon to check on you, but you weren't there.
What? Really?
I waited there for a while. You never showed up.
What's this all about, Kokichi? Didn't you go right back to the salon after finding the roof door locked?
I see. You use underhanded tactics too, huh, Shuichi? So who are you guys gonna believe? Shuichi or me?
Well, of course I'm gonna believe Shuichi.
I believe Shuichi 100%.
The one who's not Kokichi.
100 house points. Oh, no. Himiko points to Shuichi. But to go to the salon, Shuichi would need to pass by me in the dining room.
Oh no.
I wonder why I didn't notice Shuichi there. Oh well. I'll believe Shuichi anyway. He's usually right about stuff.
Sorry, but I'm going to believe Shuichi too.
I see. I wanted at least Gonta to believe me.
What comes around goes around. That's what happens to liars like you.
Why do you guys hate lies that much? There's only one truth, but endless possibilities for lies, you know? And some of them are only white lies, or lies to be kind to people. If you deny all of that just because it's a lie, then that means you guys are just terrible at being lied to. Seriously, the worst!
Just spit it out already. You went to the roof, didn't you?
Isn't that where he met up with Mew?
No, he didn't just meet her there. He probably...
Okay, fine. I'll tell you if you want to know that badly. Consider this my revenge.
Revenge?
You got some balls lying to me. I'm gonna take away your fun for pissing me off, Shuichi. I won't let you do any detective work, or deduction, or mystery solving, or anything.
Oh?
So, I'll confess everything. You guys better listen carefully.
Confess? A confession? So you are the culprit after all.
I came up with a plan after Mew asked me to meet up with her.
Okay, this is new.
She asked me pretty eagerly, too. So I decided to pry some info out of her. She gave me the rundown of the virtual world before she explained it to you guys. As I listened, I realized she was planning a murder. On me, no less. When I investigated the virtual world, I found out that a person can die from shock. Without a doubt, she planned to use that for my murder. So that's when I decided to prepare my own crime with her plan.
It's interesting that we haven't talked about this yet. Again, we haven't talked about the glitch, of course, but we haven't had any occasion to mention this. Oh, interesting. What if this might be an issue? We just said that the culprit touched, put Mew on the lattice and pushed her to, down the roof. Even if she were dead, wouldn't that still count for Mew's avatar? And at which point...
I pretended to cooperate with her and lured everyone into the virtual world. That's also why I worked together with Monokuma.
Oh, so that conversation he had with Monokuma happened after he had the conversation with Miyu. Okay, interesting.
You worked together with Monokuma?
I guess the jig is up. Yeah, everything he said is true. Kokichi came to me with an idea to make the killing game more interesting. It was such a good idea, I decided to place a motive in the killing game simulator.
You added a motive? Then the secret of the outside world is the motive, right?
No fair! Monokuma can't take sides!
I didn't help him with anything, and I had nothing to do with the murder itself. He merely suggested a way to spice up the killing game, and I accepted. Kokichi and I had a quid pro quo relationship. Technically, that doesn't violate the rules.
Bullshit! No matter how you look at it, you guys are working together.
Shh, calm down. I'll explain my relationship with Monokuma, so let me finish my confession.
I'm fine with that, but you're confessing without much of a fight.
I told you. I'm gonna get in the way by taking away the mystery-solving fun. If I can't win this game, then I'll make it boring for everyone. That's my revenge. Well then, the culprit is Gonta.
Oh. Huh. This is, if this is what it seems to be, then I feel like this might be a first in Danganronpa. And something I did keep in mind, although I don't think I said it, when I did check back at the, I wanted to see who decided to go, who went to the roof or who went to the kitchen or the salon. Kokichi did say that it was Gonta and Kaito who were going to check the surroundings and roof. They were put together in that way. So the roof was technically also under Gonta's purview. Oh boy.
What? Huh? What did you... Wait! When did Gonta kill Mew?
That's a lie! He didn't kill her! Kokichi's just lying!
Now you're trying to pin things on Gonta? Do you really expect us to believe such an obvious lie?
Yeah, there's no way Gonta could commit a murder this complicated. He's not.
It's my turn now! The truth is, Gonta and I worked together. We formed a duo to end this killing game.
He did go with, Gonta did go with him on the first time we were all logged in. He did go with him for a while.
As the Killing Game Busters!
What Busters?
We must win this killing game in order to end this killing game.
What you mean, we?
By the way, I came up with a murder plan, and Gonta carried it out.
Gonta what?
Why are you more surprised by that than the first thing he said?
'Cause Gonta have no idea what he's talking about.
Come on, quit lying and tell us the truth.
Gonta is telling the truth! He's not someone who lies all the time like you!
And no matter how naive Gonta may be, I doubt he would ever team up with Kokichi.
Yeah, not after insect meet and greet incident.
It's obvious what he's trying to do. Gonta doesn't understand the virtual world, so Kokichi's trying to trick him. He's trying to sacrifice Gonta to escape from his crime!
Thing is, and again, if we give any credence to what Kokichi has to say, which is a crazy thing to say, I know. It makes me wonder, and this is something I'm sure we've asked these questions in Danganronpa 1. If someone causes someone else to murder, then I don't think the person who comes up with the plan is the Black End. I think it's the person that actually carries it out. So even if Gonta didn't know, Gonta may not have known what he was doing, but if he unintentionally or just didn't understand what he was doing, but his actions directly led to Mew's death, then I think that would count as Gonta being the Black End and not Kokichi.
You're a terrible person! How dare you use Gonta like that?
You're right. I'm sorry. I did something horrible to Gonta. I didn't want Shuichi to hog all the glory, so I told everyone the truth!
Cut that out! I told you it's not gonna work!
Don't you think I could have pulled the strings and made Gonta carry out my commands?
Doesn't matter if it's possible or not, because I say it's just impossible!
It does matter. There's no need to bring emotions into class trials. All we need is logical thinking. Right, Shuichi?
Well, Kokichi, do you have any evidence beyond just your testimony here?
What? Gonta not understand what's going on, but still.
I mean, the thing I just mentioned about Kokichi's avatar not being able to touch Mew, that I think you could start building an argument that, hey, Kokichi was not able to move Miu. But I would like more.
Going to not kill Mew. Going to really not know anything. And also, going to not tell lies. And going to not make trouble for others. 'Cause that not how gentlemen act. That why Gonta not culprit.
Yeah, Gonta's not lying. I can tell just by looking at him.
I already used my magic to check. Gonta's definitely not lying.
Then let me ask you guys. If it's not Gonta, then who's the culprit?
You, of course!
Come on! There's already proof that I couldn't have killed Mew.
There's already proof?
Oh, did you forget already? Then let me make it clear again. Why I can't be the culprit!
I think that's the first time we're seeing this face.
I am not the culprit. Didn't I prove that to you guys already? The clue is how Mew was killed.
Mew got strangled to death, right?
Toilet paper was the murder weapon.
Mew would have totally resisted if she was being strangled, right? Then it would have been impossible for someone as weak as me.
You talking about the strength of your virtual avatar? That wouldn't matter if you strangled her from behind.
In which case, even if she did resist, the most she could have done is merely touch the culprit.
Uh-oh.
Exactly. She couldn't struggle much. So you could have kept strangling her, no problem.
See, I told you I'm not the culprit.
How'd you arrive at that conclusion?
Okay, so I know what it is, but let's see.
I am not the culprit.
I'm just curious about some of the lies here.
Didn't I prove that to you guys already?
No.
The clue is how Mew was killed.
Mew got strangled to death, right?
Toilet paper was the murder weapon.
Mew would have totally resisted if she was being strangled, right? Then it would have been impossible for someone as weak as me.
No.
You talking about the strength of your virtual avatar? That wouldn't matter if you strangled her from behind.
In which case, even if
Maybe
she did
Mew
resist,
being alive could
the most
be...
she could have done is merely touch the culprit.
Exactly. She couldn't struggle much.
Okay, I'm not gonna
you
chance
could've
it. Oh, I missed. Dang it.
See, I told you I'm not the
culprit.
I'm not the culprit.
Didn't I prove that to you guys already? The clue is how Mew was killed.
Mew got
Strangled to death, right?
The murder weapon.
Mew would have totally resisted if she was being strangled, right? Then it would have been impossible for someone as weak as me. You talking about the strength of your virtual avatar? That wouldn't matter if you strangled her from
behind.
In which case,
Even if she did
resist, the most she could have done
is merely touch the culprit.
Exactly. She couldn't struggle much. So you could have kept strangling her, no problem. That's wrong.
There we go.
Actually, maybe it wasn't possible for Kokichi to strangle Mew.
Why wasn't it possible?
Mew modified my avatar, so if she attacked me, I wouldn't be able to resist.
What bullets have we not seen yet? Avatar error has not been seen yet. We haven't seen device instructions, so there's still there. I feel like there's still so we've had a big twist. It's Kokichi telling us the truth, quote unquote, after Shuichi lied to him. But I feel like there's one more big twist in store for us.
If Mew touched me, then I'd be unable to move.
Huh?
So I would have had to kill her instantly, such as stabbing or hitting. I couldn't have murdered her by strangulation, because it'd be game over if she touched me.
What?
Well, if you were using the toilet paper, you wouldn't need to touch her directly.
But if you can't be touched while you're wrapping the toilet paper around her neck, then it would be impossible.
Which means, as long as she died from strangulation, it couldn't have been me.
Wait, what if it was something besides strangulation then?
There's no doubt Mew was strangled. We already discussed this.
Kaito is really desperate to make me the culprit. No matter how much you whine about it, you can't change the truth. The culprit who killed Mew is Gonta Gokuhara! This is the truth you all adore so much.
No! Gonta not kill Mew! It's true! You gotta believe Gonta! Gonta would never hurt anyone!
I believe you. You've been risking yourself to protect everyone. There's no way Gonta would kill. He won't even kill bugs.
I believe Gonta too. I'm not gonna listen to Kokichi's lies.
Of course! Who'd believe a liar like him? He's lying about Gonta being the culprit, so there's no point talking about it. Right, Shuichi? You think so too, don't you?
Huh? I know how important it is to believe, but as the ultimate detective, I know we can't solve this case with belief alone.
Huh?
It's just that something doesn't add up. I have this feeling something's off. We can't keep going back and forth like this. We need to discuss this.
What, you wanna suspect Gonta?
Too bad, Kaito. Looks like Shuichi agrees with me.
No, I'm not trying to...
Oh, the irony! It's all thanks to Kaito that Shuichi got his act together as a detective. And now, Shuichi's intuition as a detective has made him more suspicious of others. Well, can't be helped. That's just what a detective does.
That's not it, Kokichi. I'm just trying to make sure that everyone
Shuichi, Gonta really not do it. Gonta not culprit. Please, believe Gonta.
We might as well discuss it.
What?
As a precautionary measure, that's all. I think we need to seriously discuss whether Gonta was capable of committing this crime. Only then can we arrive at a logical decision.
You guys, why don't you get it? That's just what Kokichi wants. He's just trying to split us up. Shuichi, open your eyes!
But...
Two for one truth special!
Uh-oh.
Sorry to ruin this tense moment, but you guys seem pretty evenly split right now. So, the Ultimate Academy is proud to present its very own more phenomenal trial grounds!
So we're gonna do that again?
Shuichi, why? Why don't you understand? You're my sidekick, aren't you?
Kaito...
Okay, here we go. Interesting, Maki's over there.
Shuichi, are you saying that Gonta is the culprit?
Gonta is such a sweetheart. He wouldn't hurt a fly.
Could Gonta have even made it to the rooftop without being noticed?
There should have been witnesses at the entrance hall. But
Okay.
Kokichi confessed he was working with Monokuma.
It's all a lie. Kokichi is the one who killed Mew.
Gonta not kill Mew! Honest!
Shuichi, are you saying that Gonta is the culprit?
I've got this! I can't say for sure he's the culprit. I'm saying we can't rule it out.
Gonta is such a sweetheart. He wouldn't hurt a...
Kokichi!
Don't you realize these so-called sweethearts can commit crimes too?
Could Gonta have even made it to the rooftop without being...
Kibo! The entrance hall is all that separates the rooftop from the mansion exterior.
There should have been witnesses at the entrance hall.
I've got this! No, none of us were in charge of the entrance hall.
But Kokichi confessed he was working with
Kibo! That isn't possible, because Kokichi's avatar had special settings.
It's all a lie. Kokichi is the one.
Kibo! That isn't possible, because Kokichi's avatar had special settings.
Going to not kill Mew! Honest!
Kokichi!
I did cooperate with Monokuma, but only on a temporary basis.
Okay, no.
But Kokichi confessed he was working...
Okay, here we go.
Shuichi, are you saying that Gonta is the culprit?
I've got this! I can't say for sure he's the culprit. I'm saying we can't rule it out.
Gonta is such a sweetheart. He...
Kokichi!
Don't you realize these so-called sweethearts?
Could Gonta have even made it to the roof?
Kibo!
The entrance hall is all that separates the rooftop from the mansion exterior.
There should have been witnesses at the entrance.
I've got this!
No,
None of us were
in charge of the entrance hall.
But Kokichi confessed he was working with Monokuma.
Kokichi!
I did cooperate with Monokuma, but only on a temporary basis. It's all a lie.
Kibo!
That isn't possible, because Kokichi's avatar had special settings.
Going to not kill...
I've got this! The truth is, Gonta could have murdered Mew. Damn
Oh!
it!
Dang it.
This is our answer!
In my opinion, as long as it is possible that Gonta is the culprit, we have to discuss it.
That's ridiculous. You're going to believe Kokichi over Gonta?
That's not it at all. I just want the truth. If we're going to survive, I have to find the truth.
But... Gonta telling truth. Gonta really not culprit.
I still don't think Gonta's lying.
But didn't I tell you guys already? If you're planning to expose a liar, then you have to corner them psychologically.
Kokichi, if you had this plan that you developed with Gonta, can you not go into more detail about that?
Only then will they reveal their true self as a liar, hiding beneath a layer of deceit. That's why it hurts my heart to persecute Gonta like this! Gonta, if you understand, then do it right. Make logical arguments for the truth.
Logical arguments?
It means use your head to make arguments.
Use head?
What I'm trying to say is, if you aren't the culprit, then you gotta prove that you aren't!
But... Gonta really not know.
I'm sick of hearing you say you don't know! God, why are you so dumb?
Gonta just want to help everyone, like true gentlemen.
You're a true gentleman? More like a true nincompoop.
Hey! Now that's just bullying.
Bullying? Yeah, so what? That's what you do in this game, right? You guys blame and gang up on me, but now you're gonna pretend to be good people?
No, I never ganged up.
Gonta, argue back already! Just make an excuse or whatever!
Stop it! That's enough!
Stop what? You mean stop the game? Hey, do you even know what you're saying?
Yeah, I know. What about it? I don't want to survive if it means I have to stoop to your level.
Oh, that's a low blow right there. Then just die in a hole for all I care! We want to live, so stop getting in our way!
Quit it. If you don't shut your mouth, then I'll shut it for you. Permanently.
Maki, please, calm down.
Sorry. It Gonta's fault everyone's so upset. But Gonta telling truth. Gonta really not culprit. 'Cause Gonta not know anything. Really.
Cut it out already! That's all you've been saying this whole time!
You're the one that needs to cut it out.
After?
That's it!
Yeah.
Did Gonta get into an accident in the virtual world?
Accident?
The loud noise, maybe? No.
Damn it!
Oh my goodness. Do you think?
This is it!
Son of a gun.
When we logged into the virtual world, an avatar user error occurred. An avatar user error? Ever since Gonta logged out, he's been saying, I don't know, I don't understand.
That's because Gonta doesn't understand the virtual world, right?
That's what I thought at first, but I think it's because of the error.
What you mean?
Oh no, not this again. Okay. Memory something. Memory loss? Still think it's crazy how I had no idea that was a feature of this game.
I see now. I believe it's possible that Gonta doesn't remember what happened in the virtual world.
Huh? He doesn't remember?
You started saying, I don't know anything, after leaving the virtual world. I think that's the result of some kind of memory error.
Oh, that's why he doesn't remember anything that happened in the virtual world. Not even killing Mew.
What?
That's ridiculous! Quit screwing around!
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous.
What do you mean he doesn't remember? He's just confused!
Gonta told us he was bad with computers, remember?
Memory or no memory? Gonta never hurt anyone!
No way Gonta's the culprit!
Uh-oh. I have no health, and we're doing this now. Okay.
Gonta
Okay,
never
no
hurt
worries.
anyone!
Remember because
Doesn't remember a
Gonta wants
thing
to keep
about the
everyone
virtual world.
safe!
You did it, but you don't
Gonta would
remember
never
doing
kill
it,
a
right?
friend.
If there was a glitch,
Gonta is gentlemen! Gentlemen, protect
it
friends!
would have affected all
That's
of us!
what's up.
Your lies aren't protecting anyone.
Because we're all
Gonta
okay,
can't
Gonta
kill
not
himself.
lying!
that means there was...
Please
Dang it.
believe Gonta! Gonta never hurt anyone!
Doesn't remember a
Gonta
thing about the
everyone
virtual world?
safe.
I think it's this one over here.
Never kill a friend.
If there was a glitch,
Gonta is gentlemen! Gentlemen, protect
it
friends!
should have affected all of us.
The lies aren't protecting anyone.
But because we're all okay,
Gonta not lying!
that means the
It's a weak argument.
Dang it. I missed the V thing.
The cause of the error that affected Gonta's avatar is the 2 cords on the helmet used to log into the virtual world. I think that Gonta messed up something with the cords, causing the error.
If he mixed the consciousness and memory cords, then there'd be an error with memory. Like an error that won't let you bring your avatar's memories to the real world?
what?
Gonta, do you think it's possible that you improperly connected the cords?
Huh? How Gonta's supposed to remember that?
He couldn't have messed it up. I said it over and over. Right is the hand you hold your chopsticks in.
Oh, but Gonta holds chopsticks with this hand!
Oh. Whoops.
That's your left hand!
What?
Looks like it's decided.
What's decided? He's wrong, isn't he, Gonta? You remember the virtual world, don't you?
Gonta not remember. Gonta not even go to this virtual world place.
What?
Gonta fall asleep when he put helmet on. When Gonta wake up, Mew dead. Gonta not know what happened. So, Gonta worry. Gonta not understand what everyone talking about.
No, it can't be.
But Gonta try his best to understand. Gonta imagine real hard.
That's enough, Gonta. We already know.
Know what?
We know that you totally forgot about teaming up with me and killing Mew.
Wait a minute! That lie! Gonta not kill Mew! 'Cause why would Gonta do that?
Yeah, it's a lie. I'll never accept this. And besides, Gonta's got no motive to kill Mew.
I already gave you my testimony on how I came up with the murder plan.
And I'm saying I don't believe you.
Kokichi, if what you're saying is true, why did you plan it this way? You wanted to plan the murder yourself, but have someone else carry it out?
Is the person who planned it also included as a blackened with the perpetrator?
Thank you, Maki. Good question.
Nope! Only the person who actually commits the murder becomes the blackened!
There we go.
Then there's no incentive to just plan the murder.
But Gonta's such a gentle soul. Why would he agree to this?
Hold on, that hasn't been decided yet.
Who cares about the motive? Let's vote for the culprit already.
I care about the motive.
Well, I don't care. Finding the culprit is more important in this class trial. Talking about the motive is meaningless. It's not necessary for this specific case.
He's ignoring the heart.
No matter what you say, I'll never believe your lies.
We all agree that Gonta is the culprit, right? It would be impossible for anyone but him.
Impossible? Why?
It's pretty obvious if you use the process of elimination. Which means, Shuichi, you'll be my partner, right? Because if you don't face the truth, then we'll all die, right? And you don't want that, do you? Okay, let's begin!
Quit screwing around. I'm done putting up with your selfish bullshit!
Kaito, we should listen to his explanation. Our lives depend on it.
So, we can now take Keyboy, Himiko, and Maki off the suspect list. Shuichi, would you care to explain? I doubt they'll believe it if it came from me.
Okay.
They couldn't get to the crime scene, could they?
The bridge from the chapel to the mansion was gone, and only Mew could pass through the wall. The three at the chapel had no way to get to the mansion, so they couldn't have done it. Kaito is the next one off our suspect list, and you know why, right?
Kaito had logged out ahead of us.
Mew logged Kaito out from the start. But she did that to make us think the murder happened in the real world, right? Since we figured out the actual killing happened in the virtual world, it would have been impossible for Kaito, who had already logged out. Mew's time of death was around 6:30 in the morning. That's after Kaito logged out.
Kokichi's completely running the show now.
My synergy with Shuichi is super on point now, so let's move on to the remaining suspects. Gonta, Samugi, Shuichi, and me. Samugi and Shuichi can be crossed off. But what's the reason for that?
We have alibis? Yeah.
Tsumugi and I are witnesses to each other's alibis.
Both of you heard Mew hitting the chapel wall, right? The culprit was definitely on the roof during that time, since they slid Mew down. Because of that, Shuichi and Samugi can't be the culprit. That leaves only Gonta and me as the remaining suspects.
Then you're the culprit!
Sorry for getting your hopes up, but didn't I already explain that's impossible?
Oh man.
If Mew touched him, he'd freeze in place. Kokichi wasn't capable of strangling her.
We're up against the ropes right now. Is there going to be another turnabout or what?
So then, it's down to one person. And who was that again?
Unless we go with it was an accident or suicide theory.
Well, who is it?
Don't answer, Shuichi! You don't need to answer that! This is all Kokichi's trap!
Oh man, you're gonna make me do this? Oh man. Okay. Man, so just
It's Gonta.
I mean, it's not like they're just a complete victory for Kokichi then.
Shuichi?
Yep, Gonta is the only person who could have committed the murder. You get it now, right? That's the truth we were all reaching for. The thing you guys wanted so badly! A truth without any lies! Yu Iruma's killer is Gonta Gokuhara!
Really? Did Gonta really do it?
Jeez, is that really your reaction? It would have been fun if you went all crazy. But you forgot everything, so oh well. A culprit who can't remember their murder is pretty interesting. So, better than nothing. If Gonta remembered, his cover would have been blown so fast, especially since he's an idiot.
Hold on. I still haven't accepted this. This has gotta be Kokichi's trap.
I mean, I'm thinking if he had recruited Gonta, could he have found the motive that Monokuma mentioned, the secret of the outside world, and could that have convinced him to be a part of this?
I still believe in Gonta. He's not the kind of person who'd kill.
Kaito.
I already said this a million times, Kaito. You shouldn't use emotions
You
to
want proof? I've got your proof. After Tsumugi and Shuichi heard Kibo's voice in the mansion, they ran outside. And who did they see out there?
We did see Gonta.
Gonta.
Kokichi said it himself. When Miu's avatar crashed into the chapel wall, the culprit must have been on the roof.
I see. If Gonta's the culprit, it'd be weird if he wasn't on the roof.
It's possible that he fled the mansion after he heard the impact.
You'd have to go through the entrance hall to get outside the mansion from the roof. Is that where Shuichi and Tsumugi ran to when they heard the crashing sound?
Then maybe he jumped off the roof.
That's not possible. That rooftop was pretty high up.
Normally, Gonta could have done it, but his avatar wasn't strong enough. How about that? Now you get it, right? If Gonta was the culprit, there's no way he could have been outside the mansion.
Now you can't say Gonta's the culprit. Congrats, Gonta.
What? Really? No, that's wrong.
Ooh, the very somber no, that's wrong.
What? Just because Gonta was at the mansion doesn't mean that he isn't the culprit. All the culprit needed was a way to get from the roof to outside the mansion.
Huh?
Looks like Shuichi got it. I'll leave the rest to him.
Kaito, I know how you feel. I know because we all feel it. But we have to face the truth. No matter how cruel that truth may be, we need to face it to survive.
Whose side are you on, Shuichi?
Kaito, please.
Aren't you my sidekick? Was that just a lie?
Kaito!
It's not like that, man.
Fine then! I'll tear that sorry reasoning of yours apart and wake you up! I'll never accept this! Don't you know Gonta at all? He's not the kind of guy who'd kill someone. Don't you know that about him by now? Damn it! Why won't you believe Gonta? Why are you listening to Kokichi? Aren't you my sidekick? Wake up, Shuichi! Why won't you believe Gonta? Why are you listening to Kokichi? Aren't you my sidekick? Wake up, Shuichi! Why won't you believe Gonta? Why are you listening? Damn it! Who do you want to believe? Remember what Kokichi has done to us! Remember how Gonta's always tried to protect us! How could Gonta be the culprit? Still want to accuse him, huh? Saying the truth this, the truth that. There's a reason Gonta's not the culprit! Who do you want to believe? Remember what Kokichi has done to us! Remember how Gonta's always tried to protect us! How could Gonta be the culprit? Still want to accuse him, huh? Damn it! There's no way to leave the mansion from the rooftop!
It ends here!
Damn it!
And the toilet paper can't break. It's an object.
The toilet paper we found outside the mansion.
That's why it was on the right side.
That's what the culprit used to get from the roof to the ground.
The toilet paper?
The same toilet paper that was used as the murder weapon. That's why we didn't find it anywhere else. Not at the scene of the crime, nor on Miu's body. It was outside the mansion.
Hold on. If they use the toilet paper as a rope to get down from the roof, then they need to tie it to something. But there was nothing to tie it to.
There was the... what is it? The eyeglass. The magnifying... what are those called?
I know because I investigated the roof.
Spyglass.
You're stubborn, Kaito. You're still going on about this.
Of course I am. I'm gonna believe in Gonta till the very end.
No, there was something that the toilet paper could have been tied to.
What?
There!
Mm-hmm.
The binoculars on the rooftop. The toilet paper could have been tied there. However, I don't think the culprit actually tied it down there. They just hung it. And then used the doubled-up toilet paper to climb down. But in that case, they would have had to tug on it in order to take it down.
Yep, that's correct. Because I came up with that idea. But I thought I told Gonta to put the toilet paper back in the bathroom. Oh, I guess he ran into someone on the way and then threw it somewhere close by.
Huh.
Looks like Kaito's morale is shot, so this whole thing is done now.
The matter does appear to be settled.
That... it's...
So, it's true. Gonta really killed Mew.
I have to think that they discovered the motive, and that somehow convinced Gonta to be part of this.
But I'm the one who came up with the plan. Anyway, just admit your crime, Gonta. Even though you don't remember, you still did it.
But why did Gonta do such a terrible thing?
Wait, before you start crying, you gotta admit your crime first.
Stop! I won't let you, Kokichi. If anyone is gonna get him to confess, it's me. Gonta, I'm going to look back at the whole case one more time, okay? When you're convinced, you just let me know, all right? Let's end this together.
Hmm.
Okay.
Man, this sucks. Okay. Give me 1 second, please. Okay, sorry, just had to take a quick break. Okay, let's get back into this. What are we dealing with here? Man, it's so weird seeing all these characters in such a cutesy art style. Okay. Okay, there we go.
This is the truth of the case!
Here we go.
The case began last night. After being convinced by Mew, we all logged in to the virtual world. To log in, you have to plug the memory and consciousness cords into the device. So, we all plugged those cords into our helmets and entered the virtual world. But the culprit had accidentally plugged their cords into the wrong ports. Because of this, a connection error occurred between the culprit's brain and their avatar. As a result, the culprit would forget everything that happened in the virtual world.
I will say, I am somewhat glad they decided not to go down the, well, with what Miyu said, with something like body swap or something. Still something that turned out to be pretty devastating, memory loss, but not something completely out of left field.
It's possible that this had an effect on their avatar's personality as well. Because I can't believe that someone so kind could commit murder.
Interesting. So it's not that... Okay, so I was thinking that maybe they were able to find the motive. I mean, hang on. Have we actually established whether or not there was the secret of the outside world in there? Or did Monokuma just say there was something like that in there? Because if there wasn't actually anything put in there by Monokuma regarding the secret of the outside world, then maybe this makes sense. Yeah, maybe this is what explains it.
But we had no idea this error even happened. And so, we all logged in one by one. Meanwhile, Mew was the last to log in. She had modified the killing game simulator so she could accomplish a specific goal. After Mew confirmed we were all logged in, she took out the bottle of poison and placed it on Kokichi's seat. This was done to make it look like Kokichi was killed by poison when we returned. Yes, the reason Mew modified the simulator and brought us to the virtual world was to kill Kokichi in the virtual world, but make it look like he had died in the real world. After we had all logged in, Mew explained the world to us. Use the salon phone to log out. Objects are unbreakable. Your avatars use all 5 senses. She also explained the map of the virtual world in the mansion's entrance hall. But her explanation was intentionally false. She wanted us to misunderstand the world. However, one of us was able to see through her scheme. The very person Mew was trying to kill, Kokichi. Kokichi was going to use Mew's plan against her and plotted her murder. But Kokichi wouldn't do it himself. He used a patsy to be the culprit in this case. Kokichi was tight-lipped about the motive, so I don't know why the culprit agreed. But it seems as though right after logging in, when Kokichi and the culprit went outside, they were already working together to execute the murder. Eventually, we met up with Kokichi and crossed the river to the chapel. Mew had us split up to try to find some secret of the outside world. Kaito, Kokichi, Gonta, Tsumugi, and I investigated the mansion, while Maki, Himiko, Kibo, and Mew investigated the chapel. Splitting us up was also part of Mew's plan. At the chapel, Mew told Maki that she was going to look around outside. She chased after our group while we were heading toward the mansion. Once she made sure we were across, she dropped the bridge into the river. This was to trick us into thinking that the river separated the mansion and chapel. At the time, we thought nothing of it. It was just another one of Mew's pranks. That's why we continued with the original plan to find the secret of the outside world. We went to the mansion and split up to look for clues. Kokichi searched the salon. Kaito searched the roof. Tsumugi searched the dining room. I searched the kitchen. And finally, the culprit searched outside the mansion. Around that time, Mew was headed for the wall that was on the side of the chapel. She passed through the wall and headed for the mansion to kill Kokichi. You see, the wall was a special wall that Mew had added herself. This wall was programmed so that only objects could pass through, and Mew had changed her avatar settings from human to object. That was the hidden route she prepared for herself. She set up a wall that only she could pass through. Mew headed toward the mansion, but she was seen by Tsumugi on the way.
Yeah, that seemed the shakiest part of this plan. She would go through the wall, but then her plan was to just go through the mansion and hope she can get to the roof before anyone else sees her. That's the part that seems kind of shaky. And also believing that Kokichi was just gonna be naive enough to just, go with, hey, I want to meet you on the roof. That makes it seem that, I don't know. I think Mew... maybe if her target was Gonta or something. Because Gonta would believe her and say, oh, you want to meet on the roof? Okay. But it seems weird that she'd think Kokichi would be naive enough to just do everything she says. And then again, a bit weird that she thinks... I mean, unless she, in the discussion with Kokichi beforehand, she said, make sure everyone else is away so that I don't get spotted on my way to the mansion. But even then, that'd be more suspicious. I don't know. I don't think... Sorry, Miyu, I don't think your plan was that foolproof.
When she entered the mansion, she pulled out her cell phone. She didn't tell us that there was another way to log out. Then, she spoke a name into the phone, which forced that person to log out. It was Kaito who was on the roof at the time, the same roof where Kokichi and Mew were going to meet. By having Kaito search the roof and then forcing him to log out, She was making him look the most suspicious, but her plan didn't go smoothly. Kokichi was waiting on the roof with a culprit and the toilet paper used to kill Mew. While Mew was distracted by Kokichi, the culprit snuck up from behind. And used the toilet paper from the mansion's bathroom to strangle Mew. This was only possible because objects in the virtual world are unbreakable.
I didn't really think that one through.
Mew's avatar was strangled to death, and the shock killed Mew in the real world. After the murder, Kokichi left the cleanup to the culprit and left the roof. He probably returned to the salon as soon as he could to avoid drawing suspicion. The culprit then took the lattice from the storage room and placed Mew's body on top along with the hammer and the cell phone. The culprit heaved the lattice over the railing and forcefully slid it down the roof slope. With a body on top of it, the lattice became a makeshift sled and flew off the roof. It went through the wall that only objects can pass through before crashing into the chapel. That was the crashing sound that Kibo heard in the chapel and we heard in the mansion. Mew's wall hid the fact that the mansion and chapel were actually right next to each other. That's why Tsumugi and I were able to hear the crash from the mansion. As the final step, the culprit had to then get off the roof. Because we were at the mansion, they couldn't take the stairs or they'd be seen. So they used the toilet paper again to escape from the rooftop. They hung the toilet paper from the binoculars on the roof and used it like a rope to climb down. Once the culprit was safely on the ground, they pulled at the toilet paper to retrieve it. They would have returned it to the bathroom, but they ran into us as we were leaving the mansion. In a panic, the culprit tossed the toilet paper somewhere nearby. Without that one little mistake, we might never have solved this case, because the culprit doesn't remember. This is the truth you've forgotten, Gonta Gokuhara, the ultimate entomologist.
Man.
Gonta, this is the truth we've reached.
Okay. I think we're gonna call it there. Yeah. Okay, let's just call it there. I'll talk about, well, next time we'll go through the ending of the trial, and then the aftermath, and then I'll actually give my thoughts on the whole thing. Kind of a mixed bag is what I'm feeling right now, but give me some time to really put my thoughts in order, and then we'll regroup, and I'll let you know what I think. But certainly I don't feel good. Well, one thing I can say right now is that for Gonta, this really sucks. And I know that's an understatement. But yeah, this okay. We'll call it here. I've been the Worm. This has been Danganronpa V3. I hope you're all doing all right, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.